Hey, what's up, YouTube? King James here, and we're back. Season 5 is here, and we got two new guns. We got the EM2 and the Tech 9. So I'm going to review the EM2 first, and it's the new AR on the block, and well, it's pretty strong. As all new guns, when they come out, they always seem to be a little overpowered, and then they nerf them back down to reality. So right now, while you can, you want to use it, because damn, does this thing ever hit hard and shoot pretty fast. Now, it's a bit of a higher skill gun. However, I think anybody can use it, and I'm going to show you how and why and what my build-up looks like right now. Alright, so first and foremost, check this out. The Krig 6 I just reviewed last season at the end with all of the other guns and found it was the best AR on the block. But enter the EM2, and here's what's going on. Have a look. At close range, 563. So anything under 600 is SMG territory. This thing here is under 600, almost to 40 meters, which is almost unheard of for an AR. And look at the Krig 6, okay? It is 644, and it's never under 600. So as a sniper support gun, which isn't even what this video is about, you can definitely carry this as just a regular AR build like I'm going to show you with a sniper like the CAR or the Swiss, because it's so good up close. The only thing is you got to deal with either running the 2x scope that's built into it or the Axial Arms 3X, but honestly, I've been using those things up close for a while, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are, and it works just fine. So in terms of time to kill, this thing's a monster, and it's so much better than the Krig, which was the best gun, the AR in Warzone, which I just reviewed. You know, here we have this coming in. So for right now, it's probably the one to run. The Krig is a lot less recoil, it's faster shooting, it's a little bit easier to use. So if you're looking for an easy to use gun, you can stick with the Krig. It's not that much of a difference, but I'm telling you, if you're looking for that edge, for the maximum amount of time to kill, this thing here is a monster right now. Alright, so check this out. Here's one thing that I found when using this gun. Watch all these first clips. They're all guys moving or flying or running. Okay, that guy was in the car driving away, and I was able to get the down out of him, out of the car. Now, I think he was pretty low on health, but it doesn't matter. I still hit him while he was in the car. This guy running right here, okay, no problem tracking it. I don't know what it is about this gun, but I find it really easy to track and kill guys. I don't know, there's no mechanic to it that makes it different than any other gun, so I can't explain why, but I found myself when I was using this thing getting a ton of downs from guys who are moving in the air. Maybe just because it hits so hard that, you know, it does a ton of damage and I'm able to get those downs. But, you know, anytime a guy was flying in or running or jumping off something or flying in a helicopter or whatever, I always found that I was pretty good at getting the downs out of these guys. So look at right here. Okay, this guy's shooting at me and I'm strafing back and forth while getting the shots. Look at, he only took 1¼ plates off me right there. So, I mean, if you're able to move around and stay on target with this thing, it really hits hard and works really well, which is sort of my, you know, early indicator that I think there's going to be a nerf incoming. But for now, you know, it's definitely really viable to use. It's probably the strongest AR in the game, and if you're not using it now, you might want to consider switching. Now, I just did the video on the Krig, and the Krig's still really good, but man, the way this thing hits right now, it's not a fast shooting gun, but it does a ton of damage. Right? Check this guy out, running away. Here it is again. Alright, so check this out. I dropped into Plunder, went to my favorite spot, and just shot it up the wall to see what the recoil was like. And, well, surprise, surprise, the thing shoots right off the wall, which, you know, I wasn't really surprised about because, well, you know, it's got a lot of recoil. But when you're shooting in a controlled manner, like this, check it out. It's super close, and I was able to get a tight bead. So it really worked nice. Even despite that, learning the recoil on this thing is actually pretty easy. So I wanted to try the recoil at long range, which is how a lot of us shoot an AR, at 50 meters, 75 or 80, and this is just sort of as far as I could get away in the spot I was in. So I decided to do a control shot. You can definitely see that recoil working there, and I'm having to, you know, do quite a bit in order to maintain it and keep it there. But when I run up, I was actually fairly surprised that even despite how it was moving around, that's still a pretty tight circle for that distance away. Now, it's not like, you know, the other one here that's really tight, but, you know, if I was shooting a guy, those would all be landing chest, stomach, or head shots, so that's actually pretty good. So speaking of damage, here it is. Here's the Krig 6, 652 RPM, but 45 head, 33 chest, and 30 to the other two. Now here's the fire rate for the M2. It's 533, so it's 120 less or so. But look at the damage. Headshot 61 is really high. You're doing headshot damage from the Krig in the chest with the EM2, and then 41, which is 11 more than this. So that's why the time to kill is on this thing is so high. And when you do get hits on these guys, it really knocks them fast because it just does a ton of damage. So I've been running the EM2 for quite a while now, and I really like it. And in conjunction with the new Tech 9, which is the new real close range SMG, it's really good. And I'll have a video for that for you on Wednesday. So when Wednesday comes, I'll link it in this video. But until then, the link won't be there. However, for this gun, let's have a quick look at the build. But just before I jump into that, I want to say thank you to everybody who's recently subbed to the channel. I really appreciate all that love and support. Really and truly, guys. So thank you. And if you haven't subbed to the channel, consider subscribing because I've got a ton more content coming out. I'm going to cover all the major guns, all of the updates. So stay tuned here and make sure you subscribe with notifications on for all the content that's coming. All right, let me show you my build. So to start off with the build, definitely running the agency suppressor. Sound suppression, vertical recoil control, bullet velocity, and effective damage range. And for the barrel, really complements it nice. The task force, again, more bullet velocity, more horizontal and vertical recoil control, which you saw in the recoil test that I did. It's got a ton of vertical recoil, but it's actually fairly easy to control. And it's a bunch of these attachments that makes it that way. And effective damage range. So for additional recoil control, which you really need, it's not too bad on this gun, but you need it just to help, make those long distance shots because it is a bit of a higher skill gun. So the field agent grip, because it gives you vertical and horizontal recoil control. Now it comes with an optic on it. You can try running this optic, but I was really liking it with, the Axial Arms 3X. It's just my favorite optic. And then ammo, I'm running the Stenag 50 round mag. Now, this is a really solid build that works quite well. Now, if you want to run it with the regular 2X optic that comes on it and you don't mind that, you can definitely do that. And then you can go ahead and say grab something like the Tiger Team if you want more movement speed, or you can get a the Raider stock if you want that sprint to fire time, or grab a rear grip if you want more ADS and flinch resistance and aiming stability. So there's a bunch of different things that you can do if, depending on how you want to build it. I've been running it like this, and honestly, it's been really good. But I did run a close range version of it as a sniper support, which it works really well as with the 2X. Let me show you a couple clips of that. All right, so check it out. Here's the regular scope. It actually works pretty good when you're hip firing and you're shooting up close. I had no problem with it, and I built it slightly differently just for the extra mobility. And I was using it with the Swiss K31, and it works pretty good. So if you want to run it with max mobility, I would definitely not be using the Task Force because I don't really think that you need it. You're going to want to grab that Tiger Team Spotlight and get rid of the Axial Arms 3X and put on the Raider stock. So this way right here works really good as a sniper support because you still have some optic that you can use. It's a little small, but when you get used to it, it's pretty good. And it gives you a bunch more mobility, but it hits really hard with that really fast time to kill. So like this is a great sniper support option as well. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Have you been using the EM2 or are you still stuck on the Krig? I know a ton of people are using the Krig, but honestly, I think this thing is pretty good and you should give it a try. I've really been using it, and I'm using the Krig as well right now. And to be honest, I kind of miss the EM2 after I'm using the Krig. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty strong. So if you haven't tried it, you want to give it a shot because I've been having a lot of fun using it and I love how good it is. And while we're waiting for it to get nerfed, which I think is probably going to happen, it's definitely fun to use. So give it a shot and try it out. And let me know if you're going to use the close range or if you're using the long range version. I've been using the long range version mostly, although I'm going to try a bit more with my close range setup, carrying it with the Swiss K31. Although I know the Milano is still a really good close range option. So anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm going to have a bunch more videos coming now that Season 5 is here, so stay tuned for that. And let's see, another one on Wednesday and another one on Friday. So, those should be coming out pretty soon, so make sure you're subbed with notifications on. Anyways, guys, if you don't see me in Warzone, if you don't see me in multiplayer, it's only a matter of time, baby. King James out.